As I've been saying in some of my previous videos, I'm in the middle of switching or refining my business model. I'll probably talk about it more in an upcoming video once I know more what direction I'm going in. But because of that, I've been leaving a lot of stuff I used to pick up at the thrift store. So now my thrift hauls are not nearly as big as they used to be. So instead of uploading a bunch of small hauls, I compiled them for you. In today's video, you're going to see 2 shoe thrift hauls and 1 ThredUp mystery box unboxing. I'm going to share how much I paid for the items and the expected selling price as well. Before we jump into the first haul though, let's talk about the sponsor of today's video, Legacy Online School. When I wanted to take my daughter out of public school, I struggled to find an option that worked well with our unique situation. And now that I found it, I want to share it here just in case some of y'all are also looking for other options aside from public school. LOS is a fully accredited private K-12 online school. They teach kids from kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade. They do have real teachers teaching the courses, and they do issue diplomas for kids when they finish. Everything works just like a public school. But what makes LOS an even better option for some families is that, number one, it can be done completely from home. Students just log into the online learning platform daily, and there they will see their courses, their schedules, and all the assignments they need to do will be neatly organized in one single place. Another thing I really liked about LOS is that the schedule is very flexible. Kids can attend classes part-time or full-time. They can work through all of the course material at their own pace, or they can attend live classes instead. If you're like me, one of your main concerns about online school for your kids may be the lack of engagement with other kids. But with Legacy Online School, that's not the case. They do offer a bunch of different virtual clubs kids can join. They're now offering virtual field trips for all grade levels, and they recently added a few new programs. They have the student leadership, the career and college guidance programs. So although the work is going to be done from home, there's plenty of opportunities to engage with others, connect, and be part of a community. Enrollment for this online school is open year-round, so you can sign up at any time. And if you'd like to try it first, you can do that as well. They do have trial options available. And when you are ready to enroll, the cost of tuition is $149 a month, but they do accept several different scholarships. They just added a bunch to their list, so make sure to check that out first. And if a scholarship is not an option for you right now, they do also offer discounts depending on the plan you go with. And if you try out LOS using my code Sandra10, you can get 10% off your first month. Just click the link in the description of this video to learn more or to sign up. Now on to the thrift hauls. These shoes are already prepped, but they are not reviewed. My son preps the shoes and then I look over them and make any adjustments if I need to. But for the most part, they're pretty clean. The first pair are these corks. This is by Corkies, and both do well, Corkies and Corks. Although I have kind of noticed that the sell-through rate of it is not as good as it used to be, so I am starting to be a little bit more selective with Corks and Corkies. I'm trying to get things that are more in style, more trendy, and not their older style boots and shoes, because those are sitting for me. These are trendy though, the slingback style. Look at this, I forget what it's called or how you say it, tortoise shell. That's pretty. A low flat heel, a nude minimalist color, and overall great condition. Since these are clean, they don't have the price tags, but here on the screen I'll put the average cost of goods for my trip this day, which is probably really high. I told y'all in that past video I posted, the thrift with me, I am really trying to switch my business model from bread and butter stuff more towards high profit shoes. I can't always manage to get only high profit shoes when I go out sourcing. Sometimes I have to throw some bread and butter stuff in there just so that I get enough inventory to sustain my business. But I am slowly starting to look into more sourcing avenues, different ways for me to get this inventory so that I can have the luxury of being a little bit more selective and picky with the brands I pick up. If you know this logo, then you already know what brand this is. It is Fry. I'll show you inside the shoe so you can see it better. The sell-through rate isn't the best. It depends on the style you get. It can sit around for like a month or two, but the price is so good that that doesn't matter to me. If I can find it anywhere between 15, 20, I've even paid 40 and 50 for some high quality boots by them. These right here though, I do remember they were about $20. They have this cool zipper with the Fry logo. They are in excellent condition. Pointed toe shooty is what people call these. This is what the bottom soles look like, which for a Western style shoe, that is very good. I don't pick up that many kids shoes, but these I decided to go ahead and give them a go, mainly because of the condition. They look really good, and I did do comps on eBay and they looked like I could sell them for like $25, which still left me with a good of enough profit. I don't remember how much I paid for them, but it must have not been a lot since I decided to bring them after the comps. We are in the middle of summer. Hiking stuff is doing really well in men's and women's, so I'm sure these kids shoes are going to sell fast. If so, you will see it on the screen. These I do remember I got mainly because of price. They were like $4 in excellent condition for that price, and they are by the brand Tom's. It's like a taupey suede, and this is called a chukka style boot. One of the main keywords I use for these kind of boots is grunge, so a great popular size, great condition, and great keywords I can use for them. That's why I decided to get it, along with the fact that they were so cheap. I love picking up this brand Madden Girl because they make styles that are more toward the Gen Z generation, and those kind of shoes sell really well for me on Depop. I picked up two Madden Girl style sandals that were similar to these, but they were more Y2K-ish. They had the stretchy panel right here. It wasn't just leather like these are, but I thought these were similar enough and they have the potential of doing well. And most of the time, Madden Girl shoes aren't priced up that much at the stores, so there is room for profit there, even though they don't sell for that much. These here, I do expect them to sell for about $24 to $25. Eileen Fisher is known for being more of a minimalist casual brand. These here are some woven ballet flats in overall great condition, a great size 2, 7.5. This is always a great indication of whether a shoe is a high quality or not. This is made of leather everywhere, on the inside, the outsole, and the inside lining. That is great. That means that these shoes will last whoever buys them a very long time, which is why I like picking up Eileen Fisher shoes. And I don't ever remember seeing an Eileen Fisher shoe that's priced up at the store. They don't really know about it, so I can get them for like $4 or $5. So with these, there's plenty of room for profit most of the time. Most of you already know this brand, Fit Flop. I love picking up their sandals, but when I can find other shoes besides sandals from them, that's always a plus. These look very modern to me. I haven't even looked them up because when I found them at the store, I didn't think comps were necessary since they are like new and it's a trendy ballet comfort flat. When I find things like this by Fit Flop that look more of a newer style, I get excited because for those you can get a lot more money than for their classic Fit Flops and their outdated styles. I still do pick up those outdated ones if they're cheap enough and they do still sell, but when it comes to something like this, you can get a lot more for it. This right here is a complete gamble. I was going back and forth because they were so expensive. I don't remember the exact price now, but it was something like $45 but 25% off, whatever that is. I looked up comps and they looked a little bit tight, like some of them were in the $40 to $50 mark, which that's not going to work for me, but some of them were in the $70 mark, and I bought these thinking I can push it to the $70 mark at least, or I think even 65 will still give me room for profit. But the main reason I did that is because they are in like new condition, and this seems to be like a trendy style because it has the platform and you can never go wrong with a checkered fabric on Vans shoes. They are a smaller size, a size 6 in women and 4.5 in men, but I mean, I think I can take good enough pictures, use the right keywords. They are like new. I sell across 3 platforms. I'm going to hold out and get as much as possible for these just to make my investment worth it. So that right there is my estimated selling price, $70, $75 hopefully. I stopped picking up Converse classic Chuck style shoes because they don't sell for that much, and the stores for some reason around here have a very specific price that they like to put on these kind of shoes. It's always like $14.50, so on half off days I can get them for around $7, and that doesn't work when they sell for about $20, $22. But when it's a cool different style, I go ahead and get them. These are a pink glitter color. They have the shoelaces tied here on the side, so it makes it more of a slip-on style. The stretchy trim on the back, and overall great condition. This kind of shoe has the potential of selling a lot faster than their classic normal styles, and they can sell for a little bit more, which is why I decided to get these, and I'm going to hold out for about $28 for these at the least, but hopefully we can get it closer to the $30 to $32 mark. I was so surprised to see that these shoes were by Madewell. I don't know if you can see it there. It's embossed, so you have to be careful when you're looking through shoes that you're not skipping over Madewell shoes. I will tell you though, there are specific styles that sell well by this brand. Some of them can sit around for a very long time, but there's just certain styles that will flip really fast time after time and for good money. I don't know what it is. It can be a simple sandal, and that sandal sells for a lot and real quick, and then it can be a more high quality boot, and that boot's gonna sit for a very long time. But this one right here, I think it's gonna land in the first camp. It's gonna sell for good money and real quick because this kind of shoe is very popular right now, and on Depop it sells a lot. It's called a Lolita shoe. That's one of the keywords I'm going to use. It's Mary Jane style. It has a lug sole. It gives me like Doc Martin vibes, and look at this condition. I didn't look them up at the store. They were so cheap I didn't need to. If I had to guess, I think they were like $7, and I'm going to just throw a number out there off the top of my head because I have to do research first, but I want to say I can get close to $40 for these. I almost skipped these boots because I didn't know they were Fry. Look how the bottom looks. There's no sign of them being by the brand Fry. Then I noticed this right here. So always check the sides of boots to see if it has this logo or any other that is a high quality Western style boot. And as soon as I noticed that, I knew that this was going to be a yes, because Fry boots do well in general, but when it comes to this style with the buckles, they do even better. And if I had to guess, I'd say anywhere from $60 to $80. I know there's a big gap in the middle, but I need to do more research to know for sure. This brand, I've sold it I think just once before. It's called Supra, It is a skater shoe brand. I'll leave a screenshot of the past sale I had so you can see for how much it sold. But I expect these to sell for about $50 to $60. They are men's size 9.5, which is not a bad size. And I feel like this colorway is so beautiful, so luxe looking with the cream suede and then the gold logo here on the side and the gold in the midsole. So beautiful. I think these are going to do excellent. I'm sad that I haven't been finding as many Western boots as I used to. And when I do find them, they have them priced just way too high for me to do anything with them. But from time to time, I do find something. This isn't as special as some of the other things I've found, but it's a very good boot by a very good brand. It's called Matisse. They also make Coconuts by Matisse. The prices I end up getting for both of those brands is usually around the $25 to $30 mark. They do have some distressing along the leather. This looks more like a pebbled leather because it's textured and not just smooth. It is the pointed toe. The inside looks really good. That's something I always do with tall boots. Unzip it all of the way just so that I can make sure I'm not missing any flaw inside. These are a size 8, leather on top, and it is called the Jamie boot, so it should be pretty easy to look up and find comps for. Here is the moment of truth. This can either be really good or really bad. I think this is like my 4th or 5th box from ThredUp. I've ordered clothing and shoe boxes from them before. Sometimes it's so worth it above and beyond, but sometimes it's not worth it at all. So let's see what we have today. This paper right here is just the receipt, but at the end, when I know how many shoes I'm keeping versus how many shoes are completely worthless and I'm gonna have to donate, I can calculate better what my cost of goods for this package is. First up at the top is a really good one. It is Tory Burch sandals. They sell for more than other sandals by other brands that look like this. Since it's Tory Burch, it adds a little bit of value, and they are in great condition. A pretty neutral color with the black straps. I love that it has the logo here. Anything by Tory Burch that has a gold logo is an added plus. And if these are my size, I can probably keep them, but then again, maybe not. I don't really like thong sandals. That one we're going to say is a keeper, and if I had to guess off the top of my head, I want to say I can get about $25 to $30 for those. Next we have some Hey Dudes, which I do sell sometimes, but I like to pick up this brand when it's cheap and like new, and this one is not like new. They're dirty on the bottom and dirty on the inside. I really don't think I'm going to be posting these. I'll see. Perhaps I'll throw them in the wash to see if they look better, or maybe scrub the bottoms down and post them very cheap. The insole is removable, so I can remove that and scrub it down too. This is a maybe, and if I can get them looking right, I want to say I can get about $20 to $25 for these. These little sandals here are by Timberland. I almost thought they were dream pairs. Just by looking at them like this, it looked like they would be dream pairs. But this is even better. I love this. I've sold at least one pair of sandals by this brand that looks like this, that has like the lug sole, but I think the other ones were even chunkier. I did manage to get quite a bit of money for them. I don't remember exactly how much, but I do remember it being a high amount. I'll leave the screenshot. These are a pretty color. They are in great condition overall, but the inside is going to need a scrub down. It is a bit dark, so I'm going to do that, and I am going to post these, and hopefully I can make it to about $28, maybe close to $34 for these. Here we have some boots, and these are by Rag & Bone. So this is a very slow seller, Rag & Bone, but sometimes they do command a lot of money depending on the style. And I feel like this is a beautiful style. A Chelsea boot with the very chunky lug soles, a beautiful chestnut color, and they look like they're in excellent condition on the inside and on the outside too. So this is an excellent one. I want to say I can get maybe close to $30 just for a fast sale, but once I look it up, if I can price them all the way up to 50 or 60 depending on the sell-through rate that I see and other prices people are using for these, then I'll know better. But let's keep it at that range, anywhere from $30 to $50. So far we have 3 yeses and 1 maybe. Here we have some On Cloud sneakers. I've sold these a few times and it was this style too. I don't know what it's called. I just recognize them because it has the loops here with no laces, the bungee stretchy laces up here. The bottom is going to need just a little bit of cleaning, but not much. Other than that, they are in excellent condition everywhere. This other one too. So this is a definite yes. The inside is a little bit dirty, so maybe I'm going to have to scrub those down too. That's the thing with these boxes. A lot of the time these shoes need a lot more cleaning than I normally like to do, but it's still fun to get them because it's fun opening them up, not knowing what you're going to get. And also sometimes the cost of goods, especially when you account for gas and your time of going out to the stores to look for things, ends up being pretty good. These white sneakers are going to be a definite no. They are by Sam Edelman, which would be a pretty sneaker if it was in a lot better condition, but in this condition I'm not even going to attempt to make them work. That is a definite no. I like selling Jessica Simpson. These don't look like they're in terrible shape. A royal blue color, kind of like a wedge mule. Here's what the bottom sole looks like. There is a little bit of fraying throughout. If I saw these at the store myself, I wouldn't pick them up. But since I have them now, I think I'm just going to try to use a sweater shaver to clean up as much of this fraying and then just list them really cheap. Maybe I'll shoot to get about $20 to $22 for these. These heels here look like a cheap boutique brand, but then again, maybe not. It says Simi and it just has a number 4. I'm not sure if you can see it, but that strikes me as an Amazon brand when they have weird sizing like this. It is a pretty heel with the square toe. It has like quilting, or no, more like croc embossing throughout. A pretty color. So I like the heel, but I don't think this brand is anything, and I don't think it's worth listing either. So I think I'm going to save these to take them to Plato's Closet when I collect a lot more things. I'm going to look them up just in case, but I'm like 99% sure it is a no. These Steve Madden heels are too simple. I wouldn't pick these up at the store unless they were like new and very cheap. These are not like new. I am not going to be posting these for sure. So far we have 2 maybes, 2 definite no's, and 5 yeses. Ooh, these look promising. They are by Adidas, a platform high top sneaker. The bottoms don't look that bad. They do have some stains, blue stains, and a little bit of some black stains here, but I think that's more like dirt that would be easy to take off. It's a collab apparently because it says Niza in the back. It's either a collab or a fake shoe. But the inside and everything looks legit. I think it's just a collab, canvas style. This is a neat shoe. This is a definite yes. Even if I can't take off this stuff and I can just make it a little bit lighter, it's still gonna work. This other shoe is in even better condition. It doesn't have any of those blue marks. So I think these are definitely going to work. And since they're a collab, I bet they're worth more. And it is a unique style with the platform, the high top. Looks very trendy to me. Here we have some Kate Spade heels, nude, minimalist, with the gold accent here at the heel. Very pretty. I don't know if you can see it right on camera, but the condition of the suede is not that great, and then the bottom is even worse. So this is a definite no. Some red bandolino flats. This is a brand that I like picking up when it's like new and very, very cheap at the store, and that it's a nice style. The bottom isn't in the best of condition, but it's passable. So these I am going to go ahead and list, but I'm not going to expect that much for them, maybe like $18. Next we have some Asics. Here's what the bottoms look like, in overall good condition. The insides too look okay. These I'm not sure about. I'm going to look it up because I want to say on the condition scale 1 to 10, these are probably like a 6. not the worst, but not the best. So if they're worth something, which I really doubt it, they look very simple, I'll list them. And if not, then I'm just going to save them for for Plato's Closet. They're a size 11.5 in a men's. This is nice. We have some Rothy's, pointed toe Rothy's with horrible insoles though, so I'm not sure. Yeah, that's bad. It's a lot of dirt. I'm not even going to attempt to clean these or anything unless I just take off the insoles and sell them with no insoles. Sometimes you can get money for that, but no, even the fabric, even just touch, that's a definite no. I don't want to deal with that. These are nice, I guess. Some Birkenstock little sandals. Birkenstocks do sell with very dark insoles, so that I'm not too worried about. I am going to attempt to clean them a little bit better, but still, these would pass just like that. People buy them like that all the time. It looks like they are a 4Y, so maybe they're not going to sell for as much as an adult size would sell, but still, I think I can manage to get maybe like $25 to $30 for these. Let me count them to make sure I got 15, and then I'll tell you the final outcome. So here we have 9 shoes that we are keeping, cleaning, and listing. These right here are the definite no's. Those Rothy's are way too dirty. I don't want to deal with that. And same thing for the rest, just too dirty and too much wear. These here are the maybes, although I think those are probably going to be a no. Those I'm going to clean, and these I'm going to look up and decide. In total, I paid $97.41. That's with shipping included. Let's just assume that I'm only keeping the 9 good pairs. So $97.41 divided by 9 is $10.82. So that is my final cost of goods for the items I am keeping. If I do end up keeping some of the maybes, then it's gonna lower it down a little bit. So $10.82 is not that bad. I think some of the brands and styles I am keeping are pretty solid. I'm back with the next thrift haul. It is a pretty good one. There's about 10 items in here, but they're all pretty good. Starting with these Fry shoes. I've been talking about this Fry brand probably in the last 2 or 3 hauls I've done. This isn't the best footwear by them. They're just some casual, simple sneakers, and I also didn't like the bottom all that much, but you know what, this price made up for it. $5.99. And on this day I did get all of these shoes 50% off. The price I'm showing you, go ahead and slash it in half. So for these $3, I can make the bottoms look a little bit better, and it'll be totally worth it. This next pair is by this brand called El Amor des Pieds, and I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly, but here you can see what it's spelled like right there. Look at the condition of these sandals. They're like new. I think I did not even look these up. I probably should have, just to see the sell-through rate, because some of the shoes by this brand can sit for a very long time. But it is sort of like a comfort Italian shoe brand that is worth a lot online, and it does maintain its resale value fairly well too. And since they were in great condition, $9.99, so $5 for these, I thought, why not? They are leather on top and leather in the inside lining. I love to see that, because that just tells me that they're high quality, well-made shoes. I love the wide strap situation here, and it has a Velcro as the closure. These remind me of some Born sandals. I think Soft also makes them. They don't have a heel, they are flat, but for some reason those kind of sandals with the wide strap do really well. They sell pretty quickly, so that's what made me want to get those, aside from the price and the brand. You already know this brand, Vionic. This is their classic thong sandals. They make them in all sorts of colors with all kinds of different designs. These have some shells and some studs. Very pretty, in very great condition. And for these I also paid $5. I think I can sell these closer to about the $25 to $28 mark. These kind of sandals by Vionic have gone down in value a lot. I used to be able to get a lot more for them, but slowly over time it's getting less and less. But still, they do sell fairly quickly during the summer, so I'll still pick them up if I find them at about that price, $5. Bernie Mev, I pick up sometimes. Not a super valuable brand, but it does decent, maybe in like the $20 to $24 mark, which is what I expect to get for these sandals. They have very stretchy crisscross straps in a gold and silver color. I think that's beautiful. This is also a brand known for its comfort, and they do have very pillowy insoles. The condition is awesome, and for these I paid $4.50. This is something I'm always on the lookout for. Bright red retro pinup looking style heels. These are by Steve Madden. Let me look at this lining. Something with heels I always do is just check out the lining inside. I even look through right here to make sure that I'm not missing anything. And the straps, I make sure they're completely attached. And then of course the heel caps, they need to be in excellent condition. Sometimes they're way too smooth. These are good. I almost thought the lining was going to be questionable because it looks a little bit like a scuff, but it's not all the way peeling, so that's great. But anyway, these kind of heels do really well for me, and those are the kind of keywords I use. Rockabilly, retro, pinup style, all of those words help these kind of heels sell really well. These were also $5 and they are like new. Here are some Karl Lagerfeld sneakers. These are their classic bedazzled crystal jeweled sneakers. They are in okay condition at the bottom. They do need a little bit of cleaning, but not much. They were $6.50. The tops look excellent. I like that they're more of a square toe kind of style. It makes them a little bit different. Slip-on style, I made sure all the crystals were intact. That's something you always want to make sure of, because you don't want to add in your description that your shoes have flaws and then it's going to be a harder sell or a lower sell than you could have if the shoes are in great condition. I don't sell this brand a whole lot, so I'm not 100% sure what the ballpark for these would be. I have sold some on consignment years ago. I want to say in the $30 to $35 mark. I thought this was an excellent find. I'm not sure why they priced them so low. They were $19, so just $10. What are they? Soccer or football cleats? Well, inside it says football, but does that mean American football? Or I'll have to look it up to know for sure the exact purpose of these shoes and also what the comps are like. I've sold a few cleats before, so when I saw these I thought, yeah, those look really good. And then when I saw the price, I thought it was even better because they're in great condition all over, and you can't go wrong with Nike brand athletic footwear. I saw these at this store the last time I was there, and I was bummed out because they were $25, but on that day everything was 25% off, not 50% off. So this time that I went back and I saw these there again, it was a definite yes for me because they are platform Converse, which do a lot better than their normal flatter styles. It's also a very beautiful mauve suede color. They are in like new condition basically, and I expect these to sell in the $30 to $35 mark. Here we have some Teva sandals, which Teva is a brand that also went down in value a lot, at least for me. I used to be able to pick up most of their footwear and do okay with it during the summer, but now it just sits and sits and I have to keep dropping the price in order to get it moving. But I decided to still give these a shot because they are flat form sandals. That is an excellent keyword to use in your listings when it applies to summer shoes. If it is almost flat but it has some height, that is flat form, and that's what these are, and they are in like new condition. These were $5 as well, and I expect these to sell closer to the $30 mark, no less than about $27. I've been talking to you about this brand for a while now too in the past hauls. It is Madden Girl. Not all of their footwear is going to perform well, but these kind of chunky sandals, I can't seem to keep them for that long in my closet, which is great. These were $4.50. The condition is excellent, like all of the other shoes that I pick up. They have the adjustable straps, a little bit of a lug looking sole, and they are a little bit quilted. So those are the keywords I will use: quilted, retro, grunge, Y2K, platform, lug sole, chunky block heel. So many things to talk about, and that's when I know that an item is worth picking up, when I can come up with a lot of keywords to describe it on the spot. That means that it's worth something, it's trendy, and it's likely to sell quickly. These, I was going back and forth whether I should get them or not. They were $10, which for North Face, Gore-Tex shoes, it's not that bad. Hiking shoes do really well this time of year, which is what these are. They are the Ultra 110, it says, and I looked up comps. It seemed like they were selling for high amounts, but they were selling very slowly. But that's the thing with comps. I usually do comps either with ChatGPT or with eBay's research tool, and sometimes the results they give me can be misleading because I sell on 3 different platforms, not just on eBay, and just because it's sold slow for someone else doesn't mean that's going to be the case for me, because maybe they didn't have the pictures bright enough or good enough or describe it good enough or had the right keywords in there, and I try to make sure all of that is on point. So I feel like sometimes it's okay for me to go against comps, although sometimes it backfires on me. The reason I was going back and forth with them is because they aren't in the cleanest of condition. The condition is great, but they're not clean, and I usually don't like to bring shoes home like this where I have to take a brush and water and soap and scrub it down. I rather just do a quick wipe with a disinfectant wipe, and that's it. Maybe a little bit of leather balsam here and there to shine things up. But when it comes to something like this, I try to leave it behind. But I feel like I could get enough for these to make that extra time worth it, so that's why I decided to get them. This is an excellent cycling shoe brand that you should commit to memory. I'm trying to find the brand. Here we go. I don't know how you say it. Team Tiem, T-I-E-M. I think I found it only once before, but it sold really well. Again, I'll put the screenshot for you. These are just some simple black mesh ones. The bad thing about them is that they are a small size. They're a size 5, but I thought they were cheap enough for me to give it a go. They were only $4.50. It's a bonus when cycling shoes have these things intact. I forgot what you call them, but I usually put it in my description that it is going to include these things. And overall, great condition. So I expect these to sell maybe for just a little bit less than the other ones that you will see on the screen, since those were a more pretty color and they were a little bit of a more common size. But still, I feel like there's plenty of room for profit for these shoes because of that cheap price. I hope you learned lots of new brands, keywords, and things to look out for when it comes to shoes. In the comments down below, let me know how your reselling business is doing so far this summer. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.